Hi, it's David here with Future Trading. I'd like to welcome you to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate the fact that you're here. I got a lot of information for you. Got tons of videos. If you want to take a look at all this information, you're more than welcome. This is the live threshold. So how far the ball will pull back before resuming that live candle, the price action trend. You just need to be able to count to 10 to get that to work. And then that price action method, I use the majority principle, which states that the minority is compelled to follow. There's three different ways to show up on the chart. Now I've revealed that to you in this video. The universal chart scale. So I teach you how to read that hard right edge so you don't have to look left. You can know where the market is going to turn. If you're in the market for additional information, I do provide that. I got tons of videos there for you, and it's half off. So indicators, the lessons you can receive half off. There was a video that I had did a couple days ago, and I revealed a little bit more than what the channel is all about. So I just want to kind of keep that for those that's in the private section. But I definitely want you guys to apply it. So those that were able to take a view, definitely apply what it is that I had shared there. But I want to make sure that I keep some of this information for those that's in the private community. That's just a small glimpse as to what's happening when majority is not there. All right. So that price action method should get you what it is that you want, but sometimes the bars don't do that. But here's the ranges. So here's the range times. I got one of my indicators up here. You guys that have the indicator suite, I did do the update, but I got the profit take block. So this is the profit take potential block indicator here. So it's going to highlight what's important. That's all. So down here in last night activity. For those that have the actual update, and if you didn't receive it, again, there's some requirement that's needed in order for you to receive the update, you can just email me and we can talk about that. But here's the information here. Here's the information here. They kind of dove down, came back above it, and then just began to take off. And you can see where we're really heavy in the blue. That's pretty much what they're doing. They're turning the market, and so I want you to know what that looks like. They went up here at this top. They were right here before that decline. Okay, right before that decline, they got really active on that push up, broke that. And you can just kind of see they came down here and just began to work their magic. So we're up, and these are the range times. So you can definitely utilize this free information here. I just wanted to provide you a little bit more context because I did have to pull that video. So I want to help you just a little bit on today. Given that I did have to pull that video. So you're really not wanting to see them back past, let's say, the bottom of our range. All right, so the bottom of our range here, we're really active, definitely in this area here. I don't really have all my draw tools here, but I want to give you some information really fast. Let's not see them back below here. All right, let's just see if we can keep this up to date, maybe just hang out above here. I do believe that they're going to run this high. Absolutely believe that, but you just don't want them back below this area here. All right. So that's the ranges. All right. And I'm not going to scroll through that all the way. So I just want you to, again, take a moment, just take those range times and apply them to your chart. I have a couple of indicators in front of you. And again, all of these indicators come with the indicator suite. For all of those that have the indicator suite, this is your Bar Pro color. That's your Bar Pro color. And you can just apply that. You should have the template, but definitely that's the Bar Pro color. I did put the volume text in here. I did put that in there, and as well as the aggression in the center. And we have the no touch, no close, which is that majority information that will show up in the top and the bottom corners here. And then down here, we just have a 2 tick with the Bar Pro color in it, and we have a 1 second with the Bar Pro color in it. The other information here is the aggression. So you guys have the aggression pressure, the arrows, the stripe. Okay, you have that information there, and it's going to read it to you. So the pressure here, again, it's all about aggression. So it's trying to read what's aggressive about the price activity that's going on in that 1 minute bar. And then of course we're running, I believe the bar entry as the background down here. And then we have aggression right here in the arrows and the text. And I believe that stripe is the same thing, but that's neither here nor there. What I definitely want you to do is learn how to read majority. All right. So let me tell you what it looks like if you're new to the channel. In just a few minutes, I'm gonna share this with you. All right, so what we're trying to do is we're trying to find a candle, live candle, midpoint. Okay, we want that midpoint to exceed the prior candle. All right, it's really simple. It's not complicated. Trading is easy. We just have additional tools to just put some fun into it. That's all. All right, so just for timing, that's all. And of course, that mid gets above the high, mid gets below that low. It can take a dive or it can go up. It's just that simple. Now, the next thing that we're looking for, that's one one way of finding the majority. All the bars are colored based on this. The next way, you'll see IN, that's the increase indicator. And again, all of this is included in the indicator suite. The next thing that you're going to find is this. You're going to get a wick, and then you're going to get a smaller wick. Okay, so we're looking for big wick, smaller wick. The next thing that we're going to look for is this. We're going to get a body and a bigger body, so a smaller one and a bigger one. This one needs to fit in there twice. So we need this body to fit in there twice. And those are the three ways to find majority. Now that chart scale, I'm going to dive into that. I won't be before you long. I told you I'm going to make this quick. The center of your scale is roughly here. So as long as they can say above the center of the scale is bullish. All right. So let's just kind of color this here. Let's make it blue. We're going to keep them above. The center of the scale is bullish. And the upper part of the scale, we just cut that in half as well. And if we can definitely remain up here, even the more so. All right, so let's just divide this in half. And I'm going to give a take here. I do have an image that I provide for you guys for your charts, a full screen chart here, that the levels don't move. All right, it doesn't move. It'll plot it up there, and no matter what price does, it will always keep that chart divided. So that way you can know pretty much where they need to become cyclical. All right, so I'm going to just do this for you really quickly here, and then we're going to start reading price just for a few minutes. I won't be before you long. All right. I want to give you some useful tips on how to utilize the information. Now, we have a big wick. We have this scenario right now. Big wick, no wick. They could possibly want to come back down. And I believe that there is a chance they would like to do that. They would. Let's see if they can get under here. They pulled into the threshold. I always like to go with the threshold of the red bars. All right. So you see the two little black lines on the bar. This is our wick zone. All right. So that's our wick zone right there. We're looking for the live candle to trade down into it and then come back out of it. Okay. We're looking for the live candle to trade up into it and then come back down. All right, and that's that wick zone. I like them on the actual colored bars. All right, so we had one here. They kind of pulled up to it, didn't quite get all the way there. We had the one here. They pulled into it a bit, but then that big green bar just kind of overshot the bar. But you can tell that the wick zone is still relative. All right, so they still came back through there, even though they overshot that red bar. Same information here. They overshot that red bar, but the wick zone is important. And then, of course, we had the wick zone on this red bar up here that they pulled into before they dropped. Let's see if it want to come back down. Now, here's the wick zone on this little green bar here. They didn't make it all the way down there, but this is the upper part of the scale. Now, we have this scenario happening here. Will it go back up? Let's count our bars. Let's see if we have our trend. We want to make it easy. Again, we want to make sure that trading is really simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7. So we have 7 bars. They all have to close lower. All right. They cannot be closing equal to one another. They have to close lower. It's saying that it can get at least this far. All right. So let's see if they're willing to make it. I do know they're in an uptrend. They can go higher. I just told you they're going to go through that pivot up there. But should they want to drop, that's what it's going to look like. They're trying to turn it around. Let's see what we got. All right. So let's see what we have here. We got 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be 6. So that's not bad. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe this one to close higher. 6. Let's see. If they were going to go down, they need to get to it like right here, right now. Okay, so that's just 6. Now I'm gonna give an estimation just to say they're going to go up. Let's say they're going to close higher right about here, somewhere to that effect. Now, if they're going to go down again, they need to hop to that like right now. All right, if they're going to go down, it needs to happen now. All right, so let's see. I'm not going to lock that yet because we're not certain as to whether or not it's going to hold this move to the upside. Want to make trading easy. The moment you pull up the chart, I want to show you there's only a couple things that it'll do. Uh, go up or go down. Those are the couple things. You just need to know which one is likely. All right. So I'm going to, again, reveal to you the things that you would need to know. These are just fundamental aspects of it. My private training, or the lessons, if you will, they provide a lot more information about price and how price moves, things that you need to know that's going on the in between. Again, I did put that video out there, but I said, well, let me not do that. Now, it don't disclose, too much information clearly, but it was just more than what the channel is about. That's all. And I don't want to I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that you guys have a fair shot at learning the fundamentals. Learn the fundamentals, and when the price overlaps, there are additional things that you need to know. And should you want to know them, again, the private uh, video list is there for you if you want to inquire about that information. You're more than welcome to it. All right. But you can get to where you would like to go with the free information. That's the whole reason why I put the channel here. I want to make sure that you understand the free information can get you there as well. So we had that higher close. All right, so we had that higher close. All right, so yeah, so that's saying it can go at least here, which is a up back through that high. All right, now once it does that, I will get off here because I told you that they should go up higher. They should. They should. But if they're to fall, they need to really get to it right away, like right now. And I don't believe that that's going to be the case, being that they're making this trend back up. Let's see. Let's see if they can hold it. Let's see. Let's just see. All right. So let's get our center of our trend because we got to do that as well. Because whenever you have a thought, you have the end in mind. And oftentimes you're willing to fight for what it is that you have on your mind. You're willing to fight to see it come true. So let's put this point of interest here, if you will, just the center of the trend, cost of the thought. Let's put this here. Because if they're willing to fight for it, I'm pretty certain the middle of the trend is going to cause a problem. All right, so let's kind of throw that here. All right. Price of interest for you. Here you go. Center of the trend, cost of the thought. All right. We have primary, secondary values. We often go for the first thing, and if not, we'll settle for the second. Let me try to level this out just a bit. All right, let's see. Now, of course, we got a center of a trend back here. I don't believe that that should be too much of an issue. If they're going to go up, they need to do that right now as well. That's pretty much the upper part of the chart here. I may have to adjust the levels just a bit because the chart be moving, but the chart scale that I provide do not. All right, so let me try to do this for you. All right, so the center of the, they didn't move too much. I'll just adjust it just a hair. We're pretty much right in the same place. Right in the same place. Give or take. We're going to give or take here. Give or take. All right. So from below, what do we have? Really nothing but the increase here in the no touch. So we're kind of working with this information back here. I'm not too keen as to what they're doing in all of this. We had this here, but it just didn't pan out. They just fell under that. All right. So we only have what's going on back here with the IN and that colored bar. So I don't think they need to come back to this threshold here. I'm gonna be honest. If they come back here, it may be a problem, but I'll just drag it forward. So I don't believe they need to come back here. I don't believe that's necessary. Should they get back here, they definitely may hit that, and then we'll end up here. I do believe if they're going to drop, they would need to get to it, but that move that they just made with putting that bar there, that's saying that they can get up here, but we're going to see. They're stuck above the center of this uptrend here. All right, this uptrend here, and they're stuck above it so far, so far. Now we got the IN coming in here. So if you can't go for the trend, because these trends are really small, I would suggest now you go with what the increase or the majority is telling you at the moment. Both are, well, all three is a form of majority, but go for something smaller. All right. So if you can't go for the trend distance, go for this. All right. Go for something smaller. Just go for something smaller. So if you can't hold a trade until it gets to the trend distance, okay, if you can't hold it for that, try to take out something smaller. You only need $99.21 a day to make $2,000 a month. All right, so that's all you would need, $99.21 a day. It's not complicated. Don't make it complicated. Again, it can do both. It can come down, hit that distance here, hit this distance here, turn right around at this threshold and go up and get this. All right. So understand that the market is a fluid event. It can turn at any moment and do what it wants to do. All right. So I want to make sure that you can see both possibilities. That's all. Now, should they break this trend, they're absolutely suggesting that they're going to go here. The market has the end in mind. It's like you and I. Whenever we go to do something, the motivation behind that is us already knowing what it is that we want. And so the market knows exactly what it wants to do. And I want you to be able to listen to it. All right. So we got the majority firing off. So this bar should turn red. That's this pressure here. That's the no touch, no close pressure here. All right. We got it. That's yes. So the bar turned red. The one in the middle, it tries again to read the aggression in the bar. That's all. It's trying to read it. That's all. And the background down here, again, that's the bar entry. All of this stuff is useful if you want to utilize it. And all of this stuff, again, come with the indicator suite. 100 bucks, over 300 indicators. 100 bucks. I had to pay, let me tell you this. I had to pay over $200 for the functionality of this arrow, just this one arrow. All right. Now, I did change the specs of what it's calculating, but I had to pay over $200 for this one arrow. I'm trying to give away over 300 indicators for 100 bucks. You won't find that deal nowhere else. I can assure you that. The education that I'm providing, again, tons of information I'm trying to give away. I'm trying to do something to help traders. That's all. And those that have joined the private community can attest to that. There's information there, and it's meant to help you get to where it is that you want to go at a reasonable price. All right, so you don't have to spend a great deal of money. All right, don't want you to have to do that. I know how difficult it can be trying to acquire things that you need. Okay, when it comes to trading, and you need to know how to do this because this is a field full of professionals. There's no sectioning off. All right. I want to tell you that there's no beginners, there's no intermediates. The moment that you do this, you're entering a market full of professionals, people that know exactly how to trade, how to take your money from you. And if you're unaware, then by default, it will absolutely happen. All right. So I know what that's like. All right. I'm very, very much aware of how that takes place. All right. I've been doing this for a very long time. Very long time. All right. Want to help you get there. They're moving really, really slow. So if they can just break the low here, if they can just break the low here, they're pretty much going to head here. I'm pretty certain of that, but they're just taking their sweet time. They've already hit this threshold. All right, so they've hit that threshold. They tried to lift up a bit. Let's see what else they're doing. Now, again, they're still at the upper part of this chart. They're still above the center of the chart. Clearly, they can make this and still become bullish. Give me just 1 second. All right, I'm back. So yes, they can still make this. They can still make it and remain above the center of the chart and turn back around. It's just once they get here, you got to see what it is that price is willing to do to get back up. That's all. Can they come down? Yeah, if they wanted to, they absolutely can get down here. I do believe that we're going to get through that high that they had. I think that we'll make that. Let's take a look at that and see what that looks like. Okay, so that's over here. Let's get that absolute high. While we're looking at that, we're going to get the absolute high. And I believe that they should make this. Let's go back here and take a look. All right, so let's take a look. Let's just put something here. See how close we are to it. Okay. I'm going to just go right about there. All right, so let's go back forward here. Open this back up. It was right about here. All right, so right about there, give or take. All right, so we're almost there. I believe that they can get there. I do. Given how slow they're trading, I don't think I'm gonna want to sit up here this whole time until they do that. Let's see if they can get here, and then I will go. If they can get here or either break back below this low, and then I must go. Again, the pressure, that's the aggression one, the one in the center here. That's this one. Well, that's that one. The arrow that's floating with it is the price line. All right. And then the ones that's over here, okay, that's the no touch, no close setup that I've been covering here, which is this. All right, it's trying to measure all of this stuff for you to make it easy for you. Do you need this stuff? No, I'm explaining to you exactly what's happening, what you're primarily looking for. Now down here again, this is trying to read your 1 minute bar for you. This is a two tick, and this is price. This is time. It's just trying to read it to you. That's all. And the bar pro, every bar isn't the same. All right, I want to say that to you. They're not all created equal to me. So I wanted to make sure I make a color that's indicative of what's important. That's all. What's really important to these guys. And so all you're doing down here, if you look down here, all you're doing, you're trying to trap the color. That's all. So if you get a high, if you get a high and you come back and trap the red, you trap the red, yeah, just go that way. Now, if you begin to trap the green, yes, you can go that way as well. All right, it's really simple. Don't make it complicated. That's all this is. Just stuff to better explain to you what your bar performance is like. All right, so what are you really looking like? We know with the big wick here, you're really aggressive on the top of that. Currently, based on price, you're trapping this green in here. That's all. Can they come back down into this area and pop back up? Yes, they can. They absolutely can. That'll tell you somewhere in your threshold. Remember, this is your wick zone. All right, this is your wick zone. We look for price to come down. Okay, we want it to come down and then go back up. Okay, or we want it to go up and come back down. It's just that simple. And this information here is just trying to help you better understand what your bar performance is like. What is it actually doing internally? What it looks like. Do you need this stuff? No, I have it. I don't mind giving it away. I don't mind giving it away. And for $100, that's giving it away. All right. I do suggest you further your education. I do. So even if it's not with me, go with someone. It's best that you do that. Again, don't uh don't always settle for free. That's not the professional thing to do. It's not. Don't always settle for free. Don't. It's the worst thing that you can possibly do. They give you a lot of free indicators with your platform, and you clearly you and I both know that that doesn't work out too well. All right, so you can't always do free. You just can't always do that. A successful business individual wouldn't do that. They'll insulate their business from failure by not just choosing to always want to have free. They wouldn't do that. And again, go with anyone. You don't have to go with me. I'm just making a suggestion. Don't spend your whole trading career trying to acquire free information and think that you're going to outperform people that actually spent money to get the edge. All right, that's not realistic. Just want to tell you that that's not realistic. Try not to do that your whole career. Try not to. And I'm doing the best that I can to give back. Okay, that's all. Give back. $100, 500 for education, professional grade education. I think that that's more than reasonable. More than reasonable. If you don't have it to give, rely on the free information. Even that alone is worth significant amount of money. I can assure you. What I'm showing you right here can absolutely change how it is that you look at charts. And I'm trying to give that away for free. It's important that you understand that it's all about having understanding, a level of knowledge about markets. All right, you want to do this based on information, real time information. All right, that's important. That's important. This threshold got the IN on it. It must have kept the mid right at this low, and that's why it didn't color. They're coming back down into this threshold. Let's just kind of project this forward. And I'm going to give a take with this because I'm a little further away from my computer. All right, so if they get past this, I understand. I do. We had a big wick. We have little to no wick on this. The body can fit in there twice. It's just that mid is probably even with that low, so it's splitting hairs. It's not coloring the bar. I'm telling the indicator not to do that. Now it's indicating the move back up. Let's see if that's going to work. They came right back into this threshold, right back into that threshold. Let's see if it's going to pop up this time and stay up. Now, this bar should turn green. Yes, it did. All right, so it finished that way. All right, so we're pretty much winning the same as far as the threshold. Let's adjust our scale. So our scale, give or take, we're going to give or take here. We'll go give or take. All right, just give or take. We're going to do this. Move this. Did I lock this? Yes, I did. Didn't mean to do that. Let's do that. Going to give or take. Give or take. All right. Now let me lock it. Let me lock it this time. All right, we'll go give or take here. I'm just lock this, and then give or take. We'll lock this one as well. So they haven't broken this trend yet. All right, so they haven't broken this trend. Now, if they're going to stay up, I would prefer them not to get past this threshold here on this bar. I think if they come back down here, we may have a problem. Now, it's suggesting this. All right, so let me show you how far it's saying that it's willing to go. here. Okay, so it's saying it's willing to reach up a bit higher. We're getting a big wick. We're getting a big wick, little to no wick on the back if it can go up. That's the only thing. There's the wick zone. It hit the wick zone and it's pushing back up. Let's see, can it at least get here? If it can get here and make it, again, come up here, test the center of this trend. And hopefully from there, just go ahead and get that trend distance because it has not broken this trend yet. It hasn't done it. It has not done it yet. We're breaking this red in here, clearly. Yeah, we're doing it over here too. So hopefully they can go ahead and get this done. Tight fluctuations, that's all this is showing, just tight fluctuations and what it looks like. That's all. They're aggressively trying to buy this. They're trying to. They're trying to. This is what your bar is looking like. That's how I have you look at it. Just this. It's a lot of back and forth. And they're serious from both sides. You can see that. But again, not all bars are created equal. So let's see. That's saying that they can get here. We still got this threshold here. Let's just project that forward. Let's see if they're willing to. Now they already closed above this threshold here, which was here. All right. So let me just kind of slide that over so you can kind of see that. They closed above that threshold here on that bar. And so we're not worried about that anymore. The only next available place is up here. Then we just, at this point, I don't think they need to come back down here. I think that that would be a problem. So we're looking for them to wick out here and then go ahead and make this target. All right. That's all. And then I will absolutely let you go. I don't want to hold this video long. But I did want to put an additional video here because I know I had to take and pull that other video. And I don't want you guys to think that I'm not, eager to share information with you guys. I absolutely am. I do suggest that you take in all this free information on the channel. It absolutely stabilize your trading. It's simple. It's not complicated. You're only looking for majority. That's it. And then when it comes to the cyclical activity, you don't have to look left. You can read the real time. That's what we've been doing. You want to read the real time. Stay current with what they're up to. All right. You can get a reference point as to how far they would go. And that's why we went and looked at that high to say, hey, well, if there's a chance you're going to go up, you're going somewhere. All right. But for the most part, you can read in real time. And this is really tight, a very, very tight range. All right. So far, they've only been able to accomplish this target here. They only reached right about halfway on this one. That's not it. Hopefully they'll go ahead and do this one. This one didn't work. All right. So sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. So far, this trend is holding from below. That's all. It's holding from below. They didn't hit it. They didn't hit it. And each time they've come back off of it. All right. Now the indicator is called no touch, no close. All right. That's what it's called. Now this is the bar, okay, that turned red because this mid got below that bar's low. Typically, they won't close above this bar. All right, so let me definitely highlight that to you as to why we're having trouble here. All right, so the bar before it is red. All right, so that means that this is the no close level. All right, so they're not willing to close above here. That's why that the indicator is called that. This bar is red, so that means this bar here they tagged it, but then they closed above it. That sucks. All right, absolutely sucks. So let's see if they're able to at least get back above here, this bar here again, because this mid fell below that low. This is the no close bar, and they keep pulling up on it, but they're not exactly tackling it. They're not taking care of it. Let's see if they can do it this time. See, they're they're coming back this way again. Again, we still have this targeted distance down here. All right. So we have this distance that they see. That was the problem right there. That right there. I thought that if they double back, that they'll probably go ahead and knock out this trend. I believe they may do it this time. All right. So let's see on this one. Let's see. We got all the components there on this one. Again, it's kind of like what they had here. Let's see if this time they'll actually make this one. Let's see. I will probably be taking a break for a little bit. And I do appreciate all the support you guys gave on that video that I had to pull. Thank you so much for being supportive. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's what it's all about, just trying to help traders. And again, for those that's new, that's coming on board, that's the whole goal, is to help traders. So if you could align yourself to the goal of the channel and share the video. Be certain to let someone know that we're here, because I want to make sure that all the traders that's out here are able to receive a level of education that's easy and it's not hard to digest. That's the goal. Easy and not hard to digest. I know a lot of times people share information and it's just it would take too long. That's all. It would take too long. And most of the time, if you're coming to trading, you're wanting to experience difference. And I don't want you to have to wait a great deal of time in order to experience that in your trading. Hopefully they'll make this one. Hopefully they'll make this one. And once they make this one, I'm gonna go, because I know at that point they should be able to get here. They're still at up at the center of the chart. They're just falling away from the upper part of the chart. Let me just kind of position this again. All right, and then I'm going give a take here. All right, keep up with what they're doing. It's really simple. It's not complicated. All right, it's not complicated. All right, so let's do this. I'm gonna kind of move this zone here. They turn from the upper portion of the chart. Okay, this is the upper portion of the chart. Go and give a take here. Just give a take. All right. So we really don't. Let's not see them back up at that threshold. Let's go with this one here. Let's see if they can just turn back down from here. Let's see if they can do that. I know this is really tight. I know this is really tight. Let's see if they can come back out of this. Let's see if they can come out of this. The red bars are the stops. Okay. The red bars are the stops. Now, if you have a red bar, well, two of them back to back in this occasion, this will become a no close level as well. So this is a no close level. They may close above it, but this is one as well. All right. So, but let's see if they can just honor this threshold, because I like the thresholds on the colored bars. That's mainly the thing that I really like. We got a big wick. That may be this scenario here. Okay, if they can turn it back around, you can see down in here, they may want to go up higher if they can break past these sellers in here. They're already doing that here. Yeah, so they're heading up higher. All right, so they may just now if they trigger this, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna hold the video any longer. All right, and I believe that's what they plan to do. We're still above the center of the chart, so it can go back up. It can. It absolutely can. The indications are coming back on, saying that they want to go higher. All right. Well, that's my time with you again. I will be taking a break for a bit, and again, I thank you so much for taking the time to view the information. If you want the indicators or the education, you're more than welcome to it. It's half off. And again, I do suggest that you further your education. Do not settle for free. Okay, don't do that. That's not the professional thing to do. You want to insulate your business from failing. All right. Don't settle for free, and you can choose education from anyone out there. All right, you don't have to go with me. I want to make sure that I say that to you, and you don't need any of this stuff, to be quite honest with you. I'm just exposing you to information. That's all this is, and you can have it for half off if you're interested. All right, I wish you all the best with your trading. Take care.